Right, this is the second video on bowling. The first video looks at basic technique. So to do this video, you need to be able to have a nice smooth bowling action. Now, this video is we're going to look at swing bowling. Now, on a cricket ball you have a seam travelling all the way round the middle of the ball. In order to get the ball to swing, it is important that you keep the ball in this position. It needs to travel down the wicket like this. If that ball starts to move or rotate like this or around this way, it will not swing. So we've got to practice keeping the ball in an upright position with that seam travelling down the wicket like that. Now, the best practice for this to be is making sure that our grip is 2 fingers either side the seam, our thumb is underneath, these 2 fingers just rest on the ball. Now, I'm just going to use a tennis ball to start off with. All I want you to do is we're going to cock that wrist back. And when we let go of the ball in cricket, our bowl, we actually try and flick that wrist. So all I want you to do to start off with is practice flicking that wrist. Okay, so you can use a tennis ball and you can just practice flicking that wrist backwards and forwards in order to see if you can get that ball to stay upright. So I've just got a wind ball here with a seam. I'm going to practice flicking the wrist to see if I can get that seam staying upright, spins backwards to make sure that ball stays. Let's give it a best chance for that ball to swing. Now, I know everyone hasn't got a cricket ball at home and you don't want to be bowling with a cricket ball in your garden, so the best thing we can do is actually get a tennis ball, okay, and I'm just put tape on the one side of it, if you can see. Okay, now that tape starts to act like the shiny side on a cricket ball, and the tennis ball acts as the rough side. So whatever now the tape points towards, that's the way the ball will swing. So if you go and get a tennis ball, put some tape round it, and then we can start to practice to see when you flick your wrist in your bowling, when you actually put it all together into our bowling action, does that ball stay upright? And then you'll start to see the ball swing towards the stumps. Now what you've got to be careful of now is that if you start the ball off straight, it might swing and go down the leg side. Or if you start it outside off stump, it will swing and it will go wide. So now the next practice really is bowling and thinking about where do I aim, because I want the ball to hit off stump. Do I have to aim slightly wider of the stumps? Do I need to aim at the person's leg so that ball swings a bit more? So it's now thinking about where we actually get to aim the ball. So get a tennis ball, still holding it, 1 finger on the tape, 1 finger on the tennis ball. So it acts as a shiny side, acts as a rough side, and see if we can get that ball to swing. Now, if you've practiced that and we're getting that ball to swing, or what a lot of young bowlers have a problem with is they can bowl away swing, which goes away from the right-hander, but they find it hard to get the ball to come back in. Now, there's a nice little trick you can do with this, really, and it's about the position of your arm. Now, if you run up to bowl, you have a nice high arm. Now, to get that ball to swing away from the right-hander, you actually have your arm about 11 o'clock. See, it's not quite touching my ear. And if this was a clock face, this would be 12 o'clock. This would be 11 o'clock. So I actually have my arm at 11 o'clock, and that natural action helps that ball to swing away with the shiny side. So in order to get that ball to swing in, we need our arm to be at 12 o'clock. If we get that arm at 12 o'clock, we then give the ball the best chance to swing in. So when you're bowling now, still think about flicking that wrist to keep that ball upright, to keep that seam nice and upright. But have a play around with your away swing. Just drop your arm ever so slightly to 11 o'clock. If you can bowl away swing already, fine, keep going as you are. If you find it hard to bowl in swing, get that arm up to 12 o'clock and get that ball to really swing into that batsman. Now, the further you pitch the ball up the wicket, so the closer the ball bounces to the stumps, the more chance you give that ball to swing. If you're running in and banging it short, there's no point because the ball hasn't got any chance to swing at all. So really try and get that ball nice and full to try and hit those stumps to give that ball the best chance to swing. Right, so I've practiced that bowl and we've got that ball to swing. Now all I've done is set up a little target area for me to actually bowl at. So what I've done is I've got a mat and I've got the bin as my set of stumps. Now I put that mat on off stump or just outside and on middle stump. I'm looking to hit that mat and then swing it to hit the stumps, or just to miss the stumps just outside the offside. Okay, so that's what my practice now is. I'm going to try and bowl as many balls as possible. Might be 6, might be 10, might be 20, to try and get that ball to swing away. I'm then going to move that mat ever so slightly over towards the leg side and then see if I can get that ball to swing in. Okay, so I'm now actually working on the 2 different balls of my in swing and my away swing with a tape tennis ball. Okay, checking that the ball is coming down like this, it's not rotating around. I'm flicking my wrist and I'm aiming at the mat and the stumps as my target. Okay, I'm putting in a very short run up. If you've got a longer garden, at this point you can actually start to come off your normal run up to actually try and put this into your normal action to see if you can get that ball to swing in or to get that ball to swing away. Okay.